Okay, this is the light body reading for the week ahead. Today we have someone that is in 5D, but they're not anchored into the core and grid. So we're going to go over some complications of that, why that happens, and like what the consequences are of moving to 5D without grounding. I've been asked this question many times. Are there other ways to ground besides the galactic healing activation or ascension stargate activation that I do? And of course there is. I measured plenty of people's energies that haven't used my processes to ground. However, I haven't studied those people because I don't work with them. So I can't tell you for sure how to do that or how to make sure it's stable. All I know is what I was shown. So if you're called to my work, then we will make sure you're stable. If you work with me one-on-one, if you do not work with me one-on-one and you're just in the academy, it just takes persistence and time to learn the processes in there, and then you'll be able to stay grounded and stable and use all of the aspects of the academy to help you to work through anything that comes up after you shift into 5D. Okay, all the tools are there. So what we're seeing here is the process of ascension is very similar to the process of alchemy. And essentially it's the same thing, only we're using different language. Alchemy starts as lead-based consciousness, then it moves into lunar consciousness. And alchemy could have hundreds of processes if you want to look at it that way. I use 4 because it's simpler. The simpler this process is, the easier it is to understand it. That's why I have the densities. We go through that. I lay it out in a more linear way than is normally wanted or warranted for spiritual path. But this helps us to understand it better, and it helps us to navigate it better, okay? So the process of alchemy, is spaced out there. You start with lead, move into lunar, move into solar, and then illuminated earth is the final phase. And from my experience, solar consciousness into illuminated earth is by far the hardest. Solar consciousness is pretty easy, and a lot of people get to solar consciousness and they stay there. They think they're enlightened, but they haven't brought those teachings back to the earth plane. So some people are here just for an individual journey to experience, to learn, but everyone's source. So you're gathering information, relaying it back to source, teaching other people. I mean, we're here to participate together as a community and teach each other. And so when you go into solar consciousness, it's this really beautiful experience. Then you have to take that beautiful experience, bring it into the body, anchor it into the heart, into the core of the planet so you can use it in the planetary field, and then disseminate those messages and lessons to the collective. Okay, so that's what we're seeing here. Someone is in 5D, and let me just show you guys this. Someone is in 5D. This is the energetic system, and what we're seeing here is the top cosmic gateway is wobbling, the crown is wobbling, third eye is wobbling, the throat is good, which is a mental plane, the heart is wobbling, solar plexus is good, which is another mental plane. Then we have sacral wobble and the root wobble, and then the earth star and earth gateway are completely shut down. Okay, so this person is working with 2 energy centers, okay, the throat and the solar plexus, okay. They are balanced masculine and feminine energies, but the cosmic heart is closed down. What does the cosmic heart do? The cosmic heart connects us to unconditional divine love from true source energy. It's your connection to true divine love directly from source, okay. I gotta make sure my mic was on. So this person's frequency is 4,000 kilohertz. They have not activated the Merkana or the Merkara. So we know they haven't activated the Merkana or Merkara because they haven't activated the Merkana. And the Merkana is the 20 point star. Merkaba is a 24-pointed star. So what's happening now is their field is becoming very unstable. Okay, this is cosmic gateway is becoming unstable. Everything's unstable except for the mental fields, because they've done the work to understand these concepts, to move into the fifth density from this intellectual understanding. So that's very strong. But the emotional centers, the higher spiritual centers, and the grounding onto the planetary core are all very unstable. And that's because they haven't done the light body activations. Okay. So what this person needs to do is first do the Merkaba activation. That will stabilize the frequencies here where this person's at. It will help to open, put this individual in a position to be able to open all the energy centers and stabilize the field. So what we're looking at here, and it has to do with solar consciousness primarily. What this individual is going through is they've reached a level of intellectual understanding. So solar consciousness, so the consciousness elevated into solar consciousness. But it either is having a hard time grounding into the body, or they're not trying to ground into the body and they're just trying to function from solar consciousness alone. And so this is what we get. So somebody that goes into solar consciousness never actualizes the physical body, the transmutation and elevation of the physical body or the emotional body, and doesn't ground fully into the planetary core. This is what we'll see, a really unstable energetic being, which, sorry, I'm getting used to this new space here, which in the long run is going to cause problems. So what we need to do is stabilize everything, and then this person can begin to work from illuminated earth, or begin that process. It takes a long time. This is the longest process you'll go through, is solar consciousness to illuminated earth, because there's a lot of resistance, because in solar consciousness everything feels amazing, beautiful, perfect. And then once you start grounding, you have to work through more stuff, because the body, the physical body, has to clear fully and completely any distortions in it for this pure divine frequency to move through it. Okay, and then you have to go out into the world with this pure divine frequency and not be swayed by mass consciousness or other people's perceptions of you or how much money you make, those types of things. You have to be this pure channel for divine out in the world, and then you're living illuminated earth, and that's the last phase of alchemy. So what we need to see here happen here for these individuals is you need to do the Metatrons Cube activation to get all the energy centers balanced, the Flower of Life session to open the cosmic heart so you can reconnect to divine love or source love. You have to activate the Merkaba, and that's it for now. I would focus on grounding. So do those few things, and then grounding into the crystal core, the 5D crystal core, and anchoring into the grid. There's a bunch of meditations in the Academy to do that. At a more easier way to understand this, or connect to this, to see if this is actually your reading and what's going on with your energy. There is the shadow here, is that you're limiting the definition of yourself as the divine. There might be conditional love, or loving with expectations or conditions, and there may be issues of ideals and identification. Okay, so where do you fit in the world? How do you fit there? You're not connected, whoever this is for is not connected fully to source love. It's closed off. So wherever you're gathering your frequencies, love frequencies, they're not from the unconditional divine planes. They're actually from the conditional, more astral, which isn't true love, but is a aspect of love. Okay. So the transformation here is to become love's presence, examine your concepts of yourself and the divinity, practice the art of acceptance and allowance in order to embody unconditional love. So this is the path to enlightenment. And we can go through it consciously, and we can go into solar consciousness and understand at our higher consciousness level what divine love is and who we are as divine beings. But until you take that understanding and fully integrate it into the body, it's just an idea. So we have to take that, pull it into the body, and become that divinity in the flesh. Okay, that is the path to enlightenment. A lot of people stop in solar, and now we know we need to come into illuminated earth. Okay, and that is the process we're seeing here. Illuminated earth at its fullest, highest potential is not going to happen until 8D. And that is because at 8D level, you have cleared all karma. You have no more distortions in the field unless they're created through life and living, which does happen. It's more a frequency, and the energy body kind of stops around 70, and you can start pulling in diamond frequencies at 8D, but you're not going to activate the full rainbow body until you're ready to pass on to the higher planes. Okay, so while you're in body, you're going to be working with the 70 energies. So I'll show you those. This is 70. And so here, when you get to this point, you're not going to have many distortions, traumas, wounding. You will be able to be a clear channel for source energy, and especially golden consciousness, which is what we're talking about here. And this golden consciousness can then come into the body to anchor. Okay, if you're not doing this work, which is what we saw earlier, is you will be, hold on, sorry, I should have bookmarked these. This is where we are now at a physical level, and it's very unstable. Okay, so and then once we get into the 8D frequencies, this is what it looks like energetically. And once you're at 70, 8D, you can embody the 8D. If you're like sitting in meditation, you could completely collapse all the makaras, all the energy centers, and be pure energy. You're still going to have your physical body if you're alive, but you can move into that space at a physical level. And then you can move back into the 7D light body, restructure everything, and then utilize that within all the planes of existence again. Okay, so that's what we're working on here. This individual, to not overwhelm you, there's a few sessions you could do to get stable, even though you're in 40 frequencies at 4,000 kilohertz. The cosmic heart needs to open, energy centers need to open and align, and you need to do the Merkana activation, and then your energy will be a lot more stable. Okay, and if you have processes to do those yourself, you should do that. If you are curious about what's going on with your energy field and would like to know more, please book an analysis with me. That's the best way to start. Once you get in the academy, I do sliding scale sessions, and I always recommend coaching after you've been in there a little bit. You don't have to do it. I've had people move through there without coaching, but I do highly recommend it because it will help you to learn how to master your energy fully, and then it actually, in the end, you will be fully liberated from needing anyone to do energy work on you from now into the future. And that's what we do, is we teach that liberation. We teach that mastery so that you can liberate yourself from needing that support and guidance from other energy healers. It basically creates an environment where your energy field and your light body is stable, strong, and harmonized at all times. And there will always be times where you may get blocks or distortions or stuff comes up that you have to move through. But for the most part, you will be able to be self-sustaining with your energy. And this helps in multiple ways. It helps with your physical health, mental health, emotional health, and spiritual health. All things become resolvable proactively, so you don't have to have those colds or physical issues come up, you're always able to manage that, and the physical body feels healthier and more vibrant, more energetic as things begin to clear out. The mental space, emotional space, there will always be emotions that come in and negative thoughts that come in, but what happens when your energy is clear is they come out and you filter them out quickly. You process them and filter. But if you have a ton of blocks in your field and distortions, what happens is those emotions come in and they'll get stuck in one of those blocks. And then another one comes in, they get stuck in the block. And then it's harder to clear. Okay, so you need help clearing and sifting through the field. And then once you do that, then you're stable. Okay, that's the process. Anyone that tells you otherwise hasn't been doing this long enough to truly understand how this works. It's great to do a session every once in a while, but you can accumulate blocks and energy issues over many lifetimes. And so as you move densities, you're clearing on each density from the lifetimes where you lived in that density. So some people have lived in 7th density many times, and then 3rd density, then 4th and 5th, etc. And you have to go back to the density to clear that lifetime. Okay, so it can be done pretty quick now. I have people moving through it really fast. So it doesn't have to be a lifetime experience of clearing all this stuff if you have the support. But it is a commitment, and it requires discipline, because it's not meant to be easy. This is about soul growth. So as long as you commit to the path, it will happen, and you will see the rewards at the end. Okay? I hope that was helpful, and we'll see you next time.